Good afternoon. My name's Julie, and I'm going to share with you the discoveries that I've made in my 35 plus years helping people get better through the power of touch. And I'm going to share with you the power of this particular patch that has a fingerprint on it that is demonstrating the power of touch. So I will need a volunteer at some point. My journey started when I was 11. The night before my granddad had died, I didn't know he had lung cancer. I felt devastated, and I was inspired to train as a nurse. I thought I could make people better so that they didn't have to go through what I'd just gone through. The reality, as you probably realize, is a bit different once you grow up and you realize, yeah, well, people are going to die, but in what circumstances? That was the thing that I wanted to change. So I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about my nursing journey, but also the fact that I went through some alternatives. And then I discovered Smartpatch. And at the end, I will do a demo. And as I said, I will need a volunteer. Nursing came with side effects. Some stuff was good, some stuff was problematic. There were side effects on the patients. In year 3, a patient came in with the side effects of the drugs that I had given them in year 1. Now that wasn't what I intended to achieve when I trained as a nurse. I was also told that the definition of health by the World Health Organization is not the absence of disease or infirmity. It's a complete set of physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. All we were doing as nurses was dealing with the physical aspect of health. That wasn't what I was signing up for. Nursing also came with side effects on me. I'd got it at 18 years old, fit as a fiddle. 3 years on, I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I ended up verging on high blood pressure. I had bodylate and arch feet, which ended up leading to sciatic pain. At that moment, I needed something different than the medical profession to help me. I went to see an osteopath, and there I discovered that through the power of touch, there are other ways of helping people get better. Something else that had happened as I was going on the wards is that the patients were saying, "Oh, I'm so glad it's you." And that got me thinking, what was it that was different about what I was doing for those patients that seemingly none of the other nurses or students were doing? So I started asking, and they said, "Oh, it's the way you do the feet," because we had to go round the wards twice a day to rub their feet to reduce bed sores. You do it properly. And I thought, okay, so there's something that I'm doing that's different. I didn't know what exactly, because I wasn't following everybody else around. I was just doing the job I was assigned to do. So I decided nursing wasn't going to be my path, but I wasn't sure why. I knew I wanted to come to the UK because then I was in Belgium. And I joined an international school. And there, by chance, I stumbled upon a remedial massage course. So that was my journey in the alternative world, as we call it. But after 6 weeks, people would come back with the same pain. So I started thinking, what was it that was happening between the time they left my office and they were fine after a course of treatments, and then they were coming back 6 weeks later and the problem was back again. Clearly, what I was doing was better than nursing because they weren't getting the side effects. But it wasn't good enough for me. I wasn't making people better. So I explored herbal remedies, Traeger approach, so I could teach people how to walk without creating more problems, especially after stroke, for example, or as the sports injuries. So some people need to learn to walk again. Balance was a key issue, and I'll come back to that. There were lots of emotional issues that were coming up as well. So I trained in eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR. I used counseling skills, something called AcuNet, which uses the acupuncture points of the body to help put it back in balance. IEMT, which is integral by movement therapy, helping people to understand the chronic patterns, their thoughts, their behaviors that are keeping them stuck. MSDR, which is scar tissue therapy, because scar tissue responds very differently to all the other types of tissue. And I also did embodiment coaching, because I'd done my thesis on the psychology behind cancer when I was nursing, but I knew that everything stemmed from the body. I'd learned that skin is the biggest organ in your body. It's not the boundary between you and the world. It's the way you interact with the world. So I'd like a volunteer just to come and feel something for me. Come on up. I can't hear you from there. Just come on up. No, it doesn't matter.
So that was this.
So I'd like you to face the audience. Don't be scared. I'm far more dangerous than they are. So I'd like you to close your eyes and keep your eyes closed and put your hand out. Yeah. So just keep your eyes closed. I'm going to put something in your hand. And I want you to, without opening your eyes, I want you to tell me what I've put in your hat. Okay? A pen. And how do you know it's a pen? I feel it's long. I feel it's long and I just feel it. Thank you very much. That is the power of touch. You don't need your eyes to know what you have in your hat. All you used was touch. Do you want to be my volunteer for later? Okay. Thank you. So that is the power of touch. My clients also said to me, wow, you've got magic hats. You can feel where the problem is, even though I can't pinpoint it. So all of this was building up in my mind. And what I wanted to do was just help people get better. But I realized the problem is far bigger than what I can do alone. There's a big wellness problem. There are 6 billion people with poor sleep. There are 2 billion people who have poor mobility. I can't treat all of those alive. So these are just the stats worldwide. What was I to do? There are current wellness solutions. And as I said, there's the medical profession. Yes, you can have operations, and the medical profession is great. When you have an acute problem, when you've broken a leg, when you need an operation. Most of what I deal with is chronic problems. The medical profession does not have much to offer other than drugs. And as I said, I wasn't interested in going down that route. There are lots of holistic approaches, but how do you know which one is going to be right for you? It can be a long journey and quite expensive. There are supplements, but which do you use? And again, which one's right for you? All of these have challenges and risks. There are still contraindications, even with herbal remedies. There are side effects. It's not always suitable for when you're pregnant, for example. Not everything has been scientifically tested. What I wanted, and what I think other people want too, is something that is 100% drug-free, non-invasive, that doesn't require diet change, that's been tested, that's scientifically proven, that is cost-effective, that doesn't require a huge amount of lifestyle change, that is quick, that is easy to use, that is safe, whether you're pregnant or not. And as I said, no contraindications. What I was finding was clients were not necessarily willing to change. Although I give them things to practice that were simple, easy, and effective, they couldn't always remember to do it. We all have busy lives, I understand. They were concerned about contraindications and clashes with medication they were already taking. If they wanted to work with me and had real change, it's a big financial commitment, but it's also a big time commitment. You need at least 3 months of probably weekly treatments. And that's a big time commitment for me. I can't treat everybody, and I wanted to have a bigger impact. Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. That's effectively what I was doing. Treating people and expecting to have bigger results. My patients were sharing their progress with other people, but it wasn't enough to have a big enough impact in my view. And then one day I was introduced to Smartpatch. It turns out it's drug-free because all there is on this patch is a fingerprint that produces the same thing as my touch on my clients. This particular patch works on mobility and stability. This particular patch deals with stress. There's a patch for sleep. There's a patch for increasing the amount of calories that you burn, even when you're sleeping. There are now 16 patches. 2 new ones have just been released this weekend. So it's 100% drug-free. It has been proven. You can look at all the research if you want. There are 1 million testimonials. So what is it? It's the fact that these tactile impressions activate your brain. The set is coming from your touch into your brain. It's not just your brain telling your body what to do. Just like my lovely volunteer was able to feel from the touch that she had a pen. Blind people can read through braille. Just like you use your smartphone and you put your fingerprint on the smartphone and it opens up all the apps. This is what this technology does for your brain. Superpatch is my solution to have something that is simple, easy, and effective. It's fast, it's proven, it's cost effective. How many people use energy drinks just to keep going, or their cup of coffee? And how much does that cost each day? A lot less than one patch that can boost your energy for the whole day. It means I can help with a whole load more symptoms than I can just with hands-on. And I can help a lot more people too. So, if my lovely volunteer would like to come, I will do a demonstration of how this technology can drastically improve your balance, your strength, and your mobility. If you want the proof, scan the QR code and you can have a look at the testimonials. So, if you just pull up your sleeve, you get just up to... So what I'm going to do is a demonstration of how good your balance is. Do you have any issues with balance? We're sure you do, okay. We'll see. Okay, so we'll start with that and see how good the balance is. That's okay. So I'd like you to stand with both hands by your side and make your fist and your feet slightly further apart. So that's the good stability. So I'm helping here to demonstrate how good the balance is. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of resistance and we'll see how good your balance is. What's your name? Shirley. Okay. So resist me. Resist. So I'm not applying that much pressure. Oh. So turn around, face me. So this is a different type of stability. So you've got the side stability, but you've also got dynamic, which is forward and back. So if you come a bit closer, and then you put one hand on top of the other, and put it against your chest. And then I'm just going to put straight down. So her dynamic stability is not as good as her lateral stability, okay? So then just stand and then put your arms out, yep, and then twist. No, so keep pressing forward and just twist to see how far you can go. Okay, so mobility is quite good. And the other one. And then stand on one leg. Okay, and the other? And have you ever considered that when you get dressed, if you've got to put trousers on, you'll always put the same leg in? Next time I challenge you, put the other leg in and see how much effort your brain has to do to figure out how to do that. So I'm just going to apply the patch. It can be put anywhere on your body that isn't hairy, because otherwise it doesn't stick. Okay, so now have a go at the... Yeah. You tell me, is it a bit more? Does it feel more? It feels more, okay. Do you see a difference? Yeah, somebody's nodding, okay. So stand on one leg. How about that? You don't even need your arms. How about the other? Looks like you're not so worried about it. Okay, let's do the test again. She's Superwoman. And then come round. This. You're very welcome. You're Superwoman for the rest of the day. That's the power of Smartpatch. So if you've got any issues with balance, and that is the biggest risk to the population with age. These are all our patches. So that's the Liberty patch for balance. Freedom is for pain. Victory is for athletic performance. Peace is for stress, etc., etc. There's a patch for everything. If you want to find out more and you want to read the research, then just scan the QR code. I've got a couple of leaflets that have got all the QR codes on them. As soon as you sign up, you get a 25% discount. And if you buy full, you only pay for 3. If you want to find out more, then do get in touch. Thank you very much.